Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
We got a secret weapon today, Brad, to gain flexibility faster with stretching than you normally would. This is good for super tight people. You don't agree with that or what?
No, I just thought you were going to come up with something right
Usually
after
you have something to say, but all right, if you are new to our channel, let's start off with this.
Sure.
Please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also go over to Facebook and like us because all this week, Brad and I are going to give out positive energy to the people that give us likes, right? Ooh, there you go. So it's Bob and Brad.
Oh, yeah, down here.
All right, the secret weapon, Brad, actually, and I got this from both Tom Brady, he's 40 years old, and he's participating in football at the highest level.
Right.
He's the greatest of all time, according to some people.
Sure.
40 years old, he's still young, and he really believes heavily in muscle pliability. And there's a lot of ways you can do that, but one of the ways is to use just a simple ball.
Right.
And you're going to go ahead and work away and knead away at those muscles. The other person that where I came up with this on is Jamal Crawford. He's a NBA player for the Timberwolves, and he uses a softball.
Oh, really?
And he does the same thing. He goes through his whole body. And if you watch him play, he plays like a young guy. I mean,
How old is he?
He's 38.
Oh.
I mean, and in the NBA, that's amazing.
Sure.
So unfortunately, they're done with this season. They just got beat last night, but
Not because of his fault.
Not due to his fault, but so you can use a tennis ball or you could use a softball. We were sent this by OPTP, and I first got this and I kind of snickered.
Yeah, you could maybe give it to your 2-year-old to play with.
Yeah. But I gotta admit, it's been my go-to device now. I mean, it's not overly hard, but it's
not like using a softball. It's
No.
pretty aggressive.
A softball would be aggressive, and a tennis ball is a little small.
Right.
So this actually has worked out great for me. So this is what I did, Brad. I did an experiment. I was really concerned about one of my hamstrings, especially my left side.
Sure.
It just was lagging behind my right side. So I lay down every morning. I put my foot up on like the rail of our steps.
Yeah.
And I did it with my right, and the left one would not go as far. I couldn't straighten the knee.
Right.
So I did this, just like 20 seconds, put it up there. She straightened right out.
Really?
So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and start, Brad, showing how you can use this.
Sure.
So
does your wife watch you stretch?
No, she
Good.
doesn't get anywhere near me if she can avoid it. So you're going to take the ball, real simple. What I like to do is going across the fibers like this, Brad. So it's going across.
Yep, right, because the hamstrings are, a long muscle, go from the knee to the buttock area.
So you can actually lift the butt up like this,
There.
and you can just go right across here, and I just work it all the way down, all the way to the attachment of the sit bones.
Sure.
There, so. And it doesn't take that long, Brad, but it stretches in a different fashion, and then I go ahead and do my stretch.
Sure, okay.
You could get by probably with just doing this. I don't know that you'd have to do anything more. Then I don't know that you'd have to even do the stretch.
Sure, it's working it. I think you might as well, though, get a little stretch on it.
So I go to the hamstring, then you can go right to the calf. You can just keep working your way down, and calf muscles and calf tears are very, very common, especially in people who play weekend softball and stuff like that.
Right, they're kind of sedentary. They don't keep up in shape on a regular basis, but then they'll hit it hard for a weekend.
Yeah, so this is one I'd highly recommend to go, both the hamstring and the calf. Very easy to tear these.
Can you show them? I don't know if you would, but could you, if you want to cross over to get very aggressive on that?
Oh yeah, if you want to really get aggressive and you put the other leg on top and lift up like this.
So now there's nothing touching but his hands, and all of the lower weight of his body is going through that ball.
It's a little more difficult because trying to balance on it.
Sure, but it gets after pretty good if you need that.
All right, next one, Brad. We're going to go ahead right to the hip flexor. So that's the muscles right in here. You're going to show this one, Brad.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I think it shows up better on you.
Yeah, the old hip flexor, that's a deep muscle. It's hard to get at, but you're going to use your body weight along with the blue ball, and I'll show you how to do this. You're going to need to do this on a carpeted floor, or a hard floor would be fine too, maybe even a little bit better, but you're going to work on that, and you're just going to roll and just relax and let that ball get in there as deep as you can tolerate it. And you may even go up slightly into the lower abdomen because the hip flexor does run up in there deep. you do this as tolerated. It should feel, you know, it should never feel painful. It should just feel like it's working in there in a good deep muscle. And just relax while you do it.
Do you want to flip around, Brad, and go ahead and do the tensor fasciae lata, IT band, and then maybe the piriformis?
Sure.
So you know, you can start off at the hip flexor. You can just kind of rotate around. Now you're going to get the IT band or the tensor fasciae lata. That's the muscles on the side of the hip.
Right. I'm even going to go up into the hip abductor a little bit just because I really think that feels good and it's a nice way to get at that muscle. It's not a big muscle. And you go right above the hip greater trochanter, and then we're going to work down to the other tissues Bob was talking about. This is really nice on the IT band because the IT band...
You have trouble with that, don't you, Brad?
And your femur is right underneath there, and this is just about the right density where you can get at it, and it's not real painful, but it's still working it.
Yeah, because you normally, it's difficult for you to do the IT band, isn't it, Brad, with the foam roller?
Yeah, the foam roller is pretty aggressive. This is a nice density. It's quite a bit softer, but it still is, it's just about right.
I'll put it down below on our Amazon list of preferred products, and we'll see if anybody likes it or not.
Sure.
So, and you want to do the piriformis too, Brad, right away?
The piriformis?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Muscle in the buttock. It's a little muscle. This is the one that gives people trouble sometimes. Yeah. This is the one that can actually cause pain down the leg, down into the sciatica type region.
So it's right between the sacrum and the greater trochanter, the hip bone. I'm going to put it there, and I'm just going to roll.
Now, if this hurts, I don't do it. I mean, I don't want you to fire up your sciatica, you know. But if it actually feels better, or it feels like it's releasing, then it's great to go ahead and do it.
This figure 4 position that I'm in right now, I don't know if they can see it. I'll go this way. It's a nice way because you can relax your leg, and it actually puts a little bit of a stretch on the piriformis. It's a good way to get after it, and you're pretty mobile, and you can control your movement quite well.
The other thing I like about the ball, Brad, is that it's you know, it's really portable. I mean, if you can't carry a foam roller around, you know, on your trip, or you don't have room in your bag, you could throw this in your bag, and it'll give you an alternative for doing your stretching while you're on vacation. So.
And I'm thinking if you got young kids, bring it along, they can play with it.
That's right.
Play catch,
it's going to serve double duty.
You always want to think about the kids, you know.
Yeah, we're beyond that phase now, but you know, maybe grandkids.
Well, yeah, I got a 2-year-old. Right. I got to get him one.
So now you can also do the mid back. This is a little more aggressive on the mid back, but it does the job. You know, this
can you move your arm, Bob?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Kind of hard to see, but it's in there. Believe it, it's squishing about 50%.
Yeah, and I got the little cracking of the back going on there, Brad.
Yeah.
So,
and getting things to move.
And you can work the traps. You can work, you know, and get some into those knots that you might have in your upper traps.
Is this something you can bridge up to get in a little more?
Yeah, you can really get aggressive if you want to get on there like that.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
All right. If you want to, you can do some of these against the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The one that I like doing against the wall myself, and that I actually showed on another video, I really like working the chest muscle against the wall because those muscles tend to tighten up. I do a fair amount of push-ups, and you know.
Yeah, you get that. Yeah, rounded
out. And so in the morning, these are the two I actually use it for: the hamstrings, sometimes the shin splints.
Sure.
But I also just go ahead and roll up against the chest muscle against the wall here. I'll even sometimes go to a corner like that, Brad. Yeah. And I know this looks a little strange, but it does work actually really well.
Yeah, it does get after that pec muscle where, you know, it's just at a location, a ball will work in there nicely.
Yeah, it will. Some of the other ones you can do against the wall. One I forgot to show. I forgot one at the laying down, Brad.
What?
Was the hip adductors.
Oh yeah, that is a tough muscle group to get at.
Yeah, it's tough to form. So you actually just put the ball between the legs like this.
Yep.
And you're going to go ahead and roll back and forth like this.
You're probably not going to do that one at the fitness club, but you'll do it at home.
Do this one at home. And you can actually increase the stress by pushing down like this and
get
go
a little
like this.
Pressure on her. Those adductor muscles are tough to stretch.
Yeah.
And this gives that option to get them pliable through
this
deep
is
massage.
the other one I've done it for, Brad, because that's the reason I just came back to me. I remembered it because I am having a little trouble on those too.
Sure.
So now you can also, I'm going to have you do a few more against the wall, Brad.
Yeah, can I, Bob?
You can go ahead and do You can do the hamstring on the wall if you want. You can do the hip flexor on the wall. You can do the mid-back, traps. You can do a... You know,
I'm not going to show the hip flexor on the wall.
Yeah, it would be a little bit tough.
Well, yeah, and people would talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like it for the low back. I've got low back issues, and it works nice.
Really?
Yeah, right. That multifidi.
Sure.
Remember that muscle?
Yeah.
And the quadratus lumborum, and it's, you know, this would be a good step between, you could use this, and if you really wanted to get in deep, you could get the tennis ball out.
Sure.
And that would be the phase 2, you know.
But this is for people that maybe don't want to get too aggressive to start off with. And you can work on the knots in the upper trap.
And this is really good, Bob, because it rolls nice and smooth. It's soft enough where it's pliable and it's not too aggressive, but it's firm enough where you can literally roll on it, as you can see, without much problem.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I flipped totally on this one. I mean, it actually sat on my desk for a couple months, because I'm like,
if you're ever looking for a pair of cheater glasses, these click ones are wonderful. We got those on our favorite thing there. They were in my way for this, that's why I had to remove them. All right, I'm gonna work that upper trap. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you find the tennis ball is too aggressive, this is the next step.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Alex? Oh.
You better not be.
He's one of our employees. He's doing a good job out there with the patients. But when he starts looking at me like that, I got to find out.
All right, Brad. Why don't we wrap it up here? Remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything.
Except for
a broken heart. This is the broken heart, right?
Oh, that's it today? It's blue.
We dropped it. So, thanks.